What is up, everybody? Welcome to the 80-second starter CAD PC video. I'm T. This is Open Source Office Hours. And today we are going to continue going over this latest CAD PC build.
What
and
is
I'm just going to be talking about how I would do it differently. Welcome to the 80-second starter this CAD was my PC
first
video.
build.
My goal was to
I'm
build
T.
a good computer
This is
for
Open
CAD.
Source Office Hours.
And I figured that would give me a good
And
computer
today
for other things
we are going
as well.
to continue going over
this latest CAD PC build.
what
and I'm
is
just going to be
up?
talking about how I would
I'm
do it
realizing
differently.
now
Welcome to the 80-second starter
this was
CAD
my
PC
first
video.
build.
My goal was to
I'm
build a
T.
good computer
This is
for
Open
CAD.
Source Office
And
Hours.
I figured that would give me a good
And
computer for other
today we are
things
going
as
to
well.
continue going over
This latest CAD PC build.
what
and I'm
is
just going to
up?
be talking about how I would
I'm
do it
realizing
differently.
now
Welcome to the
I
80-second starter
this was
CAD
my
PC
first
video.
build.
My goal was to
I'm
build a
T.
good computer
This is
for
Open
CAD.
Source Office Hours.
And I figured that would give me a good
And
computer for other
today we are
things
going
as
to
well.
continue going over
This latest CAD PC build.
what
and I'm
is
just going to
up?
be talking about how I would
I'm
do it
realizing
differently. Welcome
now
to the
I
80-second starter
this was
CAD
my
PC
first
video.
build.
My goal was to
I'm
build a
T.
good
This is
computer for
Open
CAD.
Source Office Hours.
And I figured that would give me a good
And
computer for other
today we are
things
going
as
to
well.
continue going over
This latest CAD PC build.
what
and I'm
is
just going
up?
to be talking about how I would
I'm
do it
realizing
differently. Welcome
now
to the
I
80-second starter
this was
CAD
my
PC
first
video.
build.
My goal was to
I'm
build a
T.
good
This is
computer for
Open
CAD.
Source Office Hours.
And I figured that would give me a good
And
computer for other
today
things
we are
as
going
well.
to
Starter CAD PC. That I would probably do differently. Like having a fully compatible machine, I think makes a difference. And I could have spent more time on that. That's going to be all for this video. In the next one, I guess we'll start with 33 or 32. Let's see which one.
All right.
We're starting with 33.
All right, we're starting with 33. I said that at 422. Okay.
Starting with video number 33 of Starter CAD PC series. So, wow. There's so many videos. All right, cool.
Live
So,
stream / video.
I think we're not going to do sound in this one. Let me know in the comments if you liked it better. I think last time we might have done. You heard the sound of the videos in the background. This one, I think I'll just be listening to it. But you can see on the screen where we are. You can see we're at the beginning of 33.
Video. So
The title is "Can I put the NVMe in 10 minutes? How do I safely remove?"
I don't have much time right now.
10
10 minutes, but I was watching. Kind of what we're working with. Why is this?
So the NVMe
Who
has a
organized
pad and like a thermal pad thing. And I forget what was holding me up here. I
Because
think I ended up failing. I was wondering if I had the screws. The screws came on the board, so next time I'll check the board before buying. You can see I have all these screws here. And I didn't need to buy those. It was kind of a waste. I ended up not returning them because I was like, oh, I'll use them in the future. Next time, I think I'll return everything that I'm not absolutely going to use. I think I was a little tepid about that this time, but in general, like, you can always buy it again. Just return the stuff you don't need, or that's what I would do. So I'm just writing notes here. I don't know if I should, but whatever.
Joa, Jao, Hoa, how do you say your name? Barbosa? Like $15 or something. To this. Remove it.
I kind of want an overhead camera mount.
There's like a little bit of it left.
I
Ground myself.
So I was trying to decide whether to remove the sticker or not. Don't remove sticker on NVMEs. That's kind of what I realized after doing research, and I was silly to do it. It was kind of difficult to remove, which should have been a sign for me not to remove it. We're going to move on to 34.
Specific.
Tough gaming B550 plus Wi-Fi, no post, boot light stays on. What's the problem? So without going through this whole video, I've never had a desktop PC before, really. it's been a really long time since I've used one. I used to use someone that I knew. I've used people that I've known, but I've never had one myself. And so I didn't know that you were supposed to plug the VGA, whatever the cable is, into the monitor. So I had it plugged into the motherboard. And this was like, I don't know how, we'll see how many videos this is, and I'll say something about it, but this wasted the majority of the time in the build. I just couldn't figure out what was wrong. Nothing was wrong. Nothing was wrong except the thing was plugged in incorrectly, and I just wouldn't even have thought that it should be plugged into the directly into the graphics card. So it was plugged from the monitor into the I don't know if I said that right before. It was plugged into the monitor into the motherboard, not the graphics card. So what I would do differently is I would read a book about how to build a PC. I actually have a book now. It's older. Even if it's an older book. Even if it's mostly skimming the book. In general, I think this is good. Like with any project, we're going to move on to number 34 here. 35. In general, with projects, sorry, I just had my brain went blank. In general, I think it's really helpful to read books. Sort of a combination of read books, internet research, talk to people. Reading books, I think, is actually really essential. I think it's really underrated, and it's hard to do it fast enough. I don't have a great method for this. What works for me, what I've learned over a long period of time, is I think just start early. Right now, like I'm actually just while we're even here, like van life books. Best van life books. I'm going to look that up probably after I'm done streaming because like I don't think the van life thing is going anywhere. I could be wrong. I'm kind of new on this, but as soon as like a seed is planted, like I've wanted to build my own PC for years and just like starting early, like I did a bunch of research online, but I never read a book. I don't even know if I thought to, but with most things, I'll think to read books. Yeah, just that's what I would do differently. I would have tried to at least find a book for that. And it's like as soon as the seed's planted, because reading takes a lot of time. So it might make more sense for you to start the build before you finish reading. Anyway, sorry, that's a long thing. This was just me making a short video. I've found that short videos get a lot more views and attention. They're more concise and easy. Just people be watching shorts. It's a huge, in my opinion, it's a really, really powerful new feature. When I did internet video before, this wasn't really the vibe, and I think it's really powerful. I made a short to try and like get help from the internet. As you can see, there's a ton of comments here, and well, actually there's not a ton. A lot of them is just back and forth between me and the original commenters, but yeah, I think asking questions over shorts is helpful. I currently have a couple of shorts up with questions of things that I've kind of been stuck on. I think I'll probably end up moving forward on them. Sometimes you get no hope, but YouTube's a powerful sort of question asking platform, and I don't see anyone using it that way. Really, maybe a few other people in the sort of repair space, but trying to get to BIOS, and I think I just don't get to the BIOS.
See,
I was pressing the delete key. I still didn't have the VGA, right? Like all these videos, 34, 36, 34 through 36, this is all just me. Look, I tried to download a different BIOS. I freaked out because the SHA didn't match. The SHA did actually match. It was just not, it was capitalized or something. So I kind of freaked out about that. I was trying to, it's hard to do that. It's hard to write. Like if I had known this, because I again read a book or something in advance, I wouldn't have been freaking out, but I was kind of freaking out because I wanted to get it done within the return window. So this is still me just like not understanding why it wasn't working. I was like, oh, maybe I'll download the BIOS, reset the CMOS. And all of this, I think, could have been avoided if I just like, well, maybe not, but it could have been avoided if I just done more research beforehand. And I think the key to that is starting early and like trying to get like a cheap book. Older model books are great. Like some stuff isn't relevant anymore. You skip over it. Maybe you'll miss some stuff, but in terms of like the value play, rather than buying some expensive new book that, like, I don't know, even if it's touted, it might just not be what I'm looking for. Asus Wi-Fi BIOS hash not match. Yeah, this is still me on that same thing. I posted it as a question, as a short video.
This Korean comment.
Number 39 now. So we're still, like, I must have been, I don't know how many videos it was. It took me forever to figure out the graphics card thing. SHA-256 for BIOS is the same, I guess. Chat from episode 36, formatting drive. Oh, right. This was me checking chats, I guess, on stream as a way to, like, just say what's up to people. Which, you know, I expect I'll be doing again. But when I don't stream vertical format, the streams haven't been getting as much attention, so chat has been quiet. Okay, so that's me realizing that the SHA is actually the same. I don't know what else I do for 26 minutes. So this also, like, yeah, just having a book as a reference for problem solving too, because the internet can kind of be all over the place with problem solving. I find it can be inefficient. Having some sort of reference manual is helpful. Putting BIOS on USB drive. Yeah, so this is me changing the BIOS. I still don't like reading the motherboard documentation and, like, just trying to get the graphics card working when all I had to do was actually plug it into the graphics card. How to update BIOS. Yeah, I update BIOS. Maybe I needed to do this anyway. I kind of doubt it. I think it was probably up to date. I could be wrong, but I don't know why I'm holding this. Maybe I didn't have the that thing put in yet. I think I put it in later. The backplate, is that what it's called? I'm forgetting the name of it.
Everybody, so
BIOS, VGA light and boot light stay on. I think that's how I started. So there was some different things with the lights happening, I think, throughout this problem solving process. And then it went back, and it's like when you've been solving a problem so long, you think you see something new, but it's not new. It's just where you started. I didn't even realize it. I think that's part of this video. You can see I don't even have it in the thing yet, right? We're 42 videos in. I don't even have it in the case. To be fair, having it in the case kind of felt like the end of the thing for me. That might just be because of this, but all right, 43.
CMOS.
Clear reset CMOS on Asus. Yeah. So now that I'm reading about all this stuff about, like, resetting the CMOS, you could see this video actually, or one of the videos around here, got a lot of love because I think there wasn't, the CMOS videos online were not very good. I found, like, they're just were, I watched a bunch of them and I had different things and I just wanted one that was, like, really clear and up close and stuff. You couldn't see them. So we'll probably get here. One of these, probably this one, maybe 45, just got a bunch of attention. And I think that's why, because I just, like, didn't do a garbage video. I did, like, a decent video. Clear reset CMS on Asus Tough. Yeah. So obviously that didn't work. None of this stuff worked. You know, hindsight, we know the problem. Then I was just trying any and everything I could. I was scouring the web. I was talking to people. You can see, oh, there's no comments on this one specifically, but this is it is really fun. It's kind of like this manic fun thing. I did really enjoy building the thing. Yeah, this is, what is this? Okay, 841 views. Reset CMS was, no, I guess this isn't the one that got a lot of love, but still couldn't figure out the problem. Right? I was like, I reset the BIOS or change the CMOS. What's going on?
Welcome.
GPU, I switched the GPU to the other slot. Oh, man. So, yeah, besides reading a book, I don't know what I'm doing here. I think I was like, yeah. Besides reading a book,
today,
right, you could say, oh, work with someone else, right? Like working with other people. I think that's kind of a trite, for lack of a better word, suggestion, removing DIMM A2 RAM. So I started removing RAM. Someone had told me, I think, like, oh, just try resetting the RAM. Everyone thought something was broken, right? No one assumed that like what I was doing was just the wrong thing. And that was frustrating because people just don't know what you don't know. And so like working with other people can be great if it's an option. I didn't really feel like it was an option. I didn't really know anybody who'd built their PC or like if, and so I kind of just had to do it myself, like full on myself, which like in a way I think is more thorough learning.
I tried taking
if you're methodical or as methodical as I was. What's
in both slots.
Yeah, so I was changing RAM. And then I tried a different graphics card. It's too good. Look at what, I mean, this is, what are we, 10? We started at 33 or 34, so we're like 14 videos in, and I was just dealing with the same problem. So, those hours of life, God, it's too funny. Yeah, man, just the silly tribulations of working alone, man. We're having another person to just, okay, look, I finally got boot. Problem with GPU and Beatlight being on. I plugged in wrong. 15 videos later, I figured it out. I got post immediately. That's what's on this screen here. If you haven't built a PC, it just kind of means like things are working. You can put an operating system on it. At least that's my understanding. But anyway, that's what I did. Yeah. So yeah, in general, I think working with other people, I have someone that I work with now. How to install Samsung 980 SD 250 gigabyte. Research maybe installing. I don't know if I do this any differently. I think maybe I would get a bigger SSD. That's always kind of a weird thing to decide. I think knowing the purpose of the computer is really key in building to the purpose. I think everyone says that. But just ending up with spending too much money on the wrong thing or whatever, like I think this computer hits a little harder than I needed it to. Maybe, but I wouldn't know because if I had another one and it was slow in some regard, I'd be like, I needed a newer one. So like I did end up kind of spending a little more, maybe a lot more in a way, depending on how you measure it. I think the total for this computer probably came out to around like,
so I think the goal is for it to lay flat.
Not including the mess ups, 600-ish maybe dollars, maybe 700. I guess I've upgraded something already since. Maybe it was in the 500s, but it would have been, I could have probably got one built for like a couple or a few hundred less if I had done like a, where's this thing here? Oh, I don't have. So I have a Ryzen 7, and if I'd gone with like a Ryzen 5 and, just done kind of downgrade everything. Everything's really dark here. How to install Samsung 980 SD 250 gigabyte research, maybe installing. Yeah, so this was this is pretty straightforward. Just having the thermal paste or pad is important. I got thermal pads recently to install another SSD, and they were like too big, so I kind of cut one with a box cutter to just like I don't know. I was like, if this gets too hot, is it gonna drip over and then like fry the motherboard? Like, I don't know. I think that's. I mean, we should hit that video at some point. No thermal tape on M2 heatsink. Can I take heatsink from Soma 2? Right. So basically there's two places to install NVMe drives, and the one that's closer to the the one that's closer to the CPU is the one that's faster. I think generally speaking that's true. My motherboard, I actually looked up to see which one was faster, and I think that was the case in this situation. It was the closer one, but that one didn't have any thermal paste, so I had to look up this. You see this thing I'm holding right here? That's the heatsink, and I had to look up if they were the same so that I could switch them. And they were, so I did. I would still get a used motherboard in the future. I think getting used is just almost always better for so many reasons. I guess it depends, but yeah. I'm a fan of used.
I guess first.
I'm a fan of used. I think I am a fan of the internet more than in-person meetups. Maybe I will do more in-person meetups. It kind of depends on like whatever. I think like ultimately I want to build productivity computers and people want to buy gaming computers, it seems. That's sort of where the world's at right now, and I'm just not really interested in building gaming computers at the moment. So all right, we're going to go to 52. Yeah, so this is something I shouldn't have done, right? I didn't need to take the thing off the adhesive and the sticker off the NVMe. That didn't need to happen. I did it, and I would not do it again. 53. Let's do this. Let's get all right. And let me know in the comments or chat if I'm going too fast or too slow. I'm happy to change the pace. Okay, NVMe install Ace Tough Gaming. Test AMD Radeon Pro WX 4100. Yeah, so I ended up finding this graphics card for like $40 on eBay. It was like 100 or something on Amazon used, or either way, it was like $40, and this is the one that I wanted. And I was like, cool, if it works, I want it. And so what did I say? I tested it. So I tested it, and I think it just worked. And at this point, if I were to go back in time, I would return. This is the other graphics card right here. I would return that graphics card. I still have that graphics card. I don't want it. So I'll probably build it into another computer. I really do want to do another build, man. I wish someone would buy this thing so that I could do another build. But yeah, we'll see. I haven't really marketed it at all. So I imagine I will when that makes sense in terms of me taking the time to make an eBay account. But yeah, I tested it and it worked. I don't know if I would do anything differently. As you can see, none of this is in the box yet. Is in the case.
The last stream.
Right, time to start putting parts in the case? Question mark. Ace is Tough Gaming. Leland, cool. This is me just naming the parts because it's helpful for people to find the videos. If they, like it's really helpful for people to have videos for the exact parts that they have. This is one of the frustrations that I had. And so, yeah, I would absolutely do this all the same. In terms of the recording process, I think I'd do it. I don't know if I would really change much of anything. Yeah, besides maybe having an overhead cam, like a better setup, obviously, you always want. But having a bad setup, or like at the beginning of this video, it was just, I don't even know if I had sound, whatever. Having a bad setup, recording with a bad setup is like absolutely better than recording with no setup. Okay, cool. We're at 50. This is 55. 55 and 54 are out of place for some reason here. Probably because they're posted. Wow, and then we jump to 63. Okay, the order gets weird here. So,
trying to figure.
Maybe I should do. Okay, maybe I'll clean this up and do a manual reorder. I don't know. Because it's probably ordered so that it's like when it posted. And then I don't know why these posted out of order. It's annoying. Yeah. Because they are, I think, I'm almost positive they're labeled correctly. Nearly positive. All right, time to start putting parts in the case. This is the same thing, huh? Yeah, so in terms of the case itself, it felt like I watched a video on, that's a terrible screen. I watched a video on this specific case and like how to do it. I wish there was better case documentation. I wish it was really in depth. That was not really my experience. Or at least it didn't feel that way. And so maybe I fumbled around with it. I think if I were to do this all over again, like the whole time, if I had the space, the whole time that I have one table and I'm like, if I'm caught up on something more technical and it's slowing me down, the whole time I would have the case on another table or just like spaced in a different space. And I would literally just be like poking around the case, like taking things off, like looking at it, like just familiarizing myself with it more, I think would have been helpful rather than trying to do it at the time that I was putting everything in.
Live streams.
Moving front IO from top of the case to the bottom. This didn't end up working. I forget why. Again, this is probably something that might have, like you can see I kind of have the whole case apart, not the whole case, I just have all the paneling off. This is something that probably could have been avoided if I just, if I had familiarized myself with the case more. Maybe not. I think I spent a fair amount of time on this. Maybe I'm wrong. I'd have to look at the videos, but it did feel like maybe it was just the time. I was tired. I don't know. But yeah, man, familiarizing, because the case is like all the other parts don't really, there's nothing to really understand about them unless they're broken, and
well, I got this.
I'm gonna fix it, or the person's gonna fix it. It's like everything is kind of pretty standard. There's no moving parts. The case has moving parts, and so like you actually do have some options with things, and correct sockets for standoff. So this is ridiculous. I ended up buying a socket for this because I couldn't figure out the right one. I wasn't trying to strip the screws and whatnot, and you do want to use the correct socket size. I'm nearly positive. Maybe it doesn't matter as much for this. They ended up having this little socket that was like, it had a socket, and you could plug but you could drive it with a Phillips head. I'd never really seen a tool like that, and it was just in the PC case.
Video.
And so yeah, I mean, just this is another thing. Like, it's just familiarizing yourself with the case, familiarizing myself with all the parts. Like, while I was doing that, I would just be going through parts, just like having the space to just go through things separately and tinker with things, I think would have really helped with the build. And so, like, I'll just do this as a note. Doing it all over again. Have ample space for the build. And I think this is something that's really hard to manage as soon as you're interested in any sort of hardware and build and repair things. My strategy that doesn't always work, and I'm kind of trying to adapt and stuff right now, is to sell everything. You just don't own the stuff. Don't own anything, or like just get everything sold. Right, like you see in this is a skateboard, this pink skateboard up here. I don't need that skateboard deck anymore. I have to post it somewhere. I gotta sell it. Yeah, what is this? Expecting Linux when done with assembly and BIOS setup. So yeah, okay. This is just an assembly video. As you can see, I'm moving the case around here. Assembling it on its side versus its back will change depending on what part I'm doing. I don't know. I'm sure I have notes on that. I don't know if I'm really going to dig into that here. It felt kind of obvious though. And I talked through it in these videos. Like I vocalized all my, I vocalized my thoughts in terms of putting into Leon cool. Man, I did a lot of videos just like trying to figure it out. See, I got some reading lights here. Yeah, I don't know what I would do differently here. We'd have to actually watch these videos full through.
Annoying.
Let me see if it says in the intro. 59.
Just gonna take me a second to get set up here because gotta enter chat so that I can see what y'all saying. Where what to do about that?
It's very slow. It's very slow. All right, we're gonna go to 60. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
But yeah, I do talk through my thoughts in the actual videos. So, yeah, it looks like I have a thing in a case now. Yeah, these fans. These fans I like moved out once and twice. I got these fans because they're quiet, or I got this case. Like, one thing that really sold me on the case was the fact that it has these big fans and they're really quiet. Best order to tighten motherboard screws. It's kind of like a figure 8 type thing, if I remember right.
We're just continuing to put this
Fans must come off to move I/O and cable grommets. I think I did have to move the cable grommets. I could be wrong. That's these little things here. I don't know if I would do anything differently here. I think, I probably would, but it's just stuff I already said. I would have been more familiar with the case.
Ideal. But it's only, there's 4 screws total. Give me a sec.
I think streaming through a excuse me.
I got a jet. I'll stream later.
Actually, I don't know. I kind of did the best with what I had. Oh man. All this talking has me thirsty. All right, this is 62. Where the heck is 63? It's all the way up there. All right, 64.
Hey everybody, welcome.
This is still assembly, man. I think I was just like, oh, I want to do it that way. That way would be better. And I was like, and I would realize halfway through I can't do it that way. And so I would just have to go back. Do it again. Whoops. Um. 65 wiring. I guess I got the mechanical stuff in. Now it's wiring.
In this street.
I don't really remember the wiring much. It basically just, the motherboard just says, like, where to plug in the wires. I think one thing is, like, there's one part of the case that, like, the case has a plug to plug something in that the motherboard doesn't. I don't know if that's really something that's worth doing differently next time. So I don't know if I would do it any differently. It does feel a little weird to have a plug that just doesn't work, but it's the nature of a custom build, I suppose. Maybe in the future it won't be as much.
But it's a use.
All right, so now I'm installing the power supply. This was a little awkward if I remember right, but I think it was fine. What just happened? Yeah, I think it was fine. All right, 67.
Stream. And
we got what, 14 more videos, 13 or something like that. Boot with Radeon and NVIDIA. Oh yeah, I tried to boot with two drives, two graphics cards. And I was like, this is apparently a thing. I don't really know how to do it yet. I think I looked it up and I was like, oh, this isn't a thing. It's just like people talk about it like it's a thing, probably for attention. But one can't use two separate graphics cards at the same time. I don't really know. Yeah, if I'm gonna do it all over again, I wouldn't do this. The graphics card would have been returned, like I said.
Yes.
Right. This is me installing the I/O shield. I think I had to take the motherboard out to do it. And I realized that, like, I did want to do it. I think a lot of people here will be like, oh, I didn't get the I/O shield in, darn. But I was like, no, I have the I/O shield. Like, I know how to do it, basically. Or, like, I just wanted to have a complete case. I didn't want to have this, like, I wanted to have a complete computer. I didn't want to have this sort of half-drawn thing. So it's like, always go back and do it the right way. I would do that the same again. Cable management. I still haven't done much cable management with this. I don't really get it. The cables look fine to me. Like, there's like one cable. I think I've like strapped 2 of them together or whatever. I don't like cable management is one of these things. Like, it has 119 views, and this is a lot for this series, 119 views, because like no one talks about cable management online. Like, anyone who builds PCs, they're just like, oh, cool, and then I'm going to do some cable management for a while. And they, like, cut the whole thing or they fast forward it. And, like, so I was like, no, I'm going to record it. Like, it's annoying that no one shows this. It's important for airflow and just, like, and so, but I didn't really have any cables to manage, or that's how I felt. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I think this is one of those things that you can only get better at by doing, right? Like, I had a million thoughts in my brain just trying to get this done. Now I would, if when I do it again, I won't have as many thoughts for just in terms of getting the thing done. So I'll be able to be like optimize, like, oh, how do I do this better? All right, moving on to episode 70, tidying the workspace after my messy hardware phase. Yeah, cable management, man, just if it's not a problem, I guess it's not a problem. Like, I'll work on it more in the next one. That's in general, I think, to just learn the thing. It's just doing it more is the thing. So I think this was me just hanging out while I cleaned up the workspace, and I sort of talked through tools and like putting tools away. As you can see, this workspace is a total mess. Yeah, I think like I had a big table to work on. I would want an even bigger one next time. And I think even now that I'm talking about it, I'm realizing like some projects that are on my to-do list, I think
videos
may shift and stuff just due to just having ample space. I think really changes everything. It changes everything in the world, and it's really important. So, I think I'll make that a priority in the future, and I'll, more of a priority even than it has been. It's grown a lot over time, is having good space. You can see here that I have the computer. I'm putting airflow improvement and prepping BIOS configuration. So you can see I've elevated it off the desk, and this is because I think it's the power supply pulls air in through. And so if I was doing this again, maybe I'd plan for it to have a higher stand. I want this to be even higher than it is here. Because I want there to be tons of room to pull air through, right? What I ideally want is a table with a cutout where the air pulls through the thing. So it's literally a table designed exactly for the computer. I haven't gotten around to that. Maybe I will. It's something that I would want to record if I do it, just to show people. Yeah, I don't know. I guess let me know in the comments if that's something that you'd be interested in. I think it would be really cool, and I think people would appreciate it, but literally just be some carpentry of like building a table and then sawing a hole in the middle of it. And it seems kind of silly, but a lot of the stuff we do with computers 10 years ago would have seemed silly, and now it's a thing. I don't know what I'm doing here with this other thing. It looks like I got Nix up. That's the Nix symbol. Yeah. Kind of want to hear. What am I up to? This is me trying to plug in a monitor that's not going to work because it's like designed for laptops or something. I think it's a firmware thing.
Processor.
Setting up the BIOS CGA card not supported by the UEFI driver. 72. This error has all sorts of stuff on the internet. I've already talked about this, I think. Here it is over in this quarter. Graphics card and drivers. Shooting a better graphics card for drivers. Man. I don't know what I would do differently here. I think in the future I might try and go with less powerful and get newer stuff. If that's even a thing. I didn't want newer stuff because I wanted to keep the budget down. But like having an appropriate driver for a graphics card seems important to me. I think I'm probably losing out on a lot because of that. I could be wrong. I don't know. I haven't done bench tests or benchmarks or whatever they're called. You can see this also got a lot of views. And I think it's because a lot of people get this message. There's something online that was talking about a hack. There was all sorts of stuff. I don't know if I would do anything differently besides just like
episode 3.
I don't know, having newer stuff maybe. Configuring UEFI for Linux. This is one of those things that's kind of boring. I think I probably would have started it earlier. Just like learning about the UEFI. I don't know if I will though. This might just be the type of thing that you learn the more you do, because it's so drawl, it's so boring, and who knows how much of a difference it actually makes. Reading about it, I think, could be a thing. Reading, skimming, that may actually be the best thing. I look forward to doing that if it is a part of either of the computer books that I'm currently going through. Ubuntu install from USB. Ventoy worked well, I think. I like Ventoy. I'm a fan of that. Reason to not have a million flash drives. So whoever created Ventoy, good job. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You can see it has a lot of views. I think Linux was getting a lot of stuff here because a lot of attention here because the whole Microsoft not supporting Windows 10 or something like that. I don't know what's going on over there. I haven't lived in Microsoft land for a long time, but that was the vibe. What was this, a month ago? I don't know if it's still the vibe. I feel like they've made some things like in Europe, they're like, oh, you support Windows 10. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what's going on with that, if that's still a thing. I'm happy to make Linux videos. I've been on Linux for like at least a year now. Like I've done Linux more, setting up Ubuntu. Yeah, I would do this all the same again. I think Ubuntu's been good for robotic stuff. But yeah, I was on Linux before that, but not really using a GUI or a GUI, as they say. Graphics card drivers. Oh, this is me going through the drivers. Yeah, this is just stuff I should have known ahead of time. I just wanted a computer. I wanted to get it done. It's not something, I don't know what just happened. That's annoying. This is annoying to me. I think that's part of why I already want to build another computer, because I just think this stuff's relevant, and it's not going to stop being relevant in terms of like
question. I'm on a bunch
for things, and so like
225.
Just in terms of getting ahead of it and not always like being in a pinch. Like being in a pinch, like need a computer or whatever. It's like better to just have it on deck and be ready, or be prepared. What do I do about graphics? This is me just asking a question to the internet. Got some replies. I think just making questions as short as possible and digestible and saying all the problem solving you already did. Those three things that I just said, short, digestible, and saying all the problem solving that you already did. That's what served me well for getting help from the web. In general, it does. I think in YouTube, it's the same. In general, on the web, in general, in life. People want to know that you've tried stuff. Installing and configuring FreeCAD. Yeah, we're getting towards the end here. I don't know how I feel about the Snap Store and like how Ubuntu specifically works. This is all sort of new stuff to me.
So this is Ubuntu 25.0.
Change brightness. This is still a pain. Yeah, I don't know what I'll do about brightness in the future. I might read about that. I did end up getting another monitor. It's not currently hooked up to this computer because I need like an adapter, but the brightness thing's real. I hate it. I notice it now that I'm talking about it again. Like it just, I mean, I notice it every day. I noticed it earlier when I was trying to do something. I ended up not doing it on the computer because the brightness sucks. Brightness matters if you make computer hardware or software and you like know solutions to this problem. Really appreciate it. Ubuntu GPU drivers research, no edit. Okay, yeah, this is just research stuff. Yeah, we're nearing the end. I do think, yeah, okay, no, this is the end because this was this second video. This 81 was the last, was the other review video, this being the second review video. So yeah, I think that's it. Just to see, we'll just do this real quick. We'll see sort of the current state of, I wonder if I'm logged into, what's the name? PC part picker. I don't think that I'm going to be logged in. I'm not logged in. Okay. We'll go to part picker real quick And maybe I'm just gonna do this to see, because I think it's a month later and things can change really quickly, and so I am kind of curious how these things are now, and I'm just gonna put in maybe the same parts. Wow, it's so bright. It's so horribly bright. It's so terrible. I'm just gonna see if the prices have changed. Wow. Is that real? So yeah. Okay, no, the used is the same, and it was on sale for new. But the price is back up on this processor, so the sale is real. The Peerless Assassin. I think this is the same. I'm just looking for version 3. See, like, you won't know the name of your parts if you don't do this yourself. Maybe that's not true, but like, I know the name of all these parts because I did this. It looks like things are the same price in terms of used. I don't know if I'll go through all this. The video card maybe has changed price. I don't know. I realized eBay would work, and maybe we don't need to do this, but yeah, part picker is great. I always use it again to help build. I know Newegg has stuff like that, but yeah, if you have any questions, please, or anything, just anything to communicate, I encourage you to comment. I'm not sure what video we'll be doing next. I know this isn't the very last Starter CAD PC video. I don't think. I think there's probably a couple things, like after I have used CAD and can like give a bench test and whatever, I'll probably put it on this playlist. But I don't know how many more there are of this, so I look forward to the next one. Let me know what you would want to see in the comments if you like. Love to be helpful if I can. Get parts, make sure motherboard works. Yeah, so build a plan. I had build a plan for the series. I think having a better plan would be helpful, and having clamps to hold electrical stuff. I may have said that in another video. I just wanted to make sure that I say it here in this series. So yeah, these things, I think I said them before, but maybe I will probably show the planning in the next one. All right, thanks for tuning in. See you in the next one if you are a subscriber, I guess.